Hey, what up? Welcome back. This is the second part of my haul. Haven't done a vid in a while and just want to do these two back to back. So I showed off the online buys, and right now I just want to hit up these comic book shops I went to. So I started off going out to one of these places, All Seas Collectibles, and it's in Aurora. Got this new Avengers. The story with Bendis, Steve McNiven art, had some gems in it. Things started getting weird with Marvel around this time. It's like when New Marvel was ending and that NU Marvel era. New Marvel, Neo bankruptcy, post bankruptcy, Neo Marvel, that New Marvel era. Some people were calling it Neo, but anyway, it was ending. It was dying for whatever reason, and even with other publishers, things, who knows, with the .com bomb that happened around 2001, but comics were still riding high up until around 2003, 2004. But you had this obviously some cross-brand recognition move going on, marketing department-led decision-making with Spider-Man and Wolverine joining. It's like, what the hell? At least they put in somebody different, like Ronin and Sentry, where you were like, what the hell? Who is that person? This comic, New Avengers, the original print, had a bunch of different covers. The cool thing about this one, though, is came out in 2005, and it is the same year that Ed Brubaker's run came, and that was like an oasis in this weird desert that was going on with comics around that time, and things getting tepid, or things were written to be part of a trade paperback, and they might start off with a great artist and then switch it up on you every other issue with some half-rate person that you weren't really expecting that didn't match the cover. Oh, nice. I didn't know that I had this. But Steve McNiven, and then these stories with the Sentry were cool. It's intriguing, but stuff like with this Winter Soldier that developed out of this Captain America run with Steve Epting doing the art, Ed Brubaker writing. Yeah, definitely a spy genre. So many different genres that Marvel can fulfill that, they're going to be around for decades. And I needed to get back to All Seas Collectibles in Aurora because they got like multiple copies of these Faust comics, and I'm low on money, but you never know with stuff like this. So I wanted to go back and get issue number 12. Got that for $5. First print. Anything after issue 6, it's under the Rebel Studio label, and they reprinted the first 6 under the Rebel Edition cover. That was like after 1991. So this gem right here came out in cover date January 1st, 2001. The last issue is issue 15 from January 2012, but the first issue came out in 1988. Every issue written, scripted, David Quinn, and art by Tim Vigil. And yeah, and it was cool. Like, I got this on a random with the Captain America cover and the New Avengers covers for the hell of it. Sure. So I went to Mile High Comics, stopped by, they got a help desk there, and I got this real beautiful copy of Flesh and Blood #1. I got doubles of all my Crow books except for Death and Rebirth #3, I believe. He said it was a near mint copy. Fucking fine. And I was going through my spreadsheet, keep track of my comics and all my boxes, and I realized, I got some doubles of the A and B cover of issue #1. It's the only one that has like a B cover. But this 18 issue series, I was missing issue #6. So cover date May 2008. The story of the art with Scott Hampton. Just the covers as well as the interior. Yeah, there's some badass Scott Hampton covers, like issue number 11. I recommend Simon Dark. I think somebody like him, and also Mother Panic. A couple of Gotham City-based, more lowbrow, street-level heroes that I say lowbrow just because Simon Dark reminds me of like lowbrow comics. So I got that, and I need to complete my run. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Got that for $6. This was 10. This was 40% off at Mile High Comics. 40% off 10. This is this guy Hennessy. This artist's last name Zach Hennessy. 2 N's, 2 S's. That is the writer artist. This crazy story. I guess the first Lazarus, it's called Lazarus, The Many Reincarnations. The first book that he did was in 96. This is the second one on a 98, if I got that right. Looking up research on this. Information's far and few between. But I saw this in the Indy shelves over at Mile High, and it's just like, this is beautiful. That says limited to 5,000 copies. There's just a taste right there. I just picked it up. I opened it up, saw those first couple pages, put it back in the bag real quick. Gotta ask to open up those books. Great. This is at least VF copy of Simon Dark number 6. Flesh and Blood. James Vance writing, Alex Maleev doing the interior art. Alright, then I went over to Kilgore Books. Oh yeah. One other day this past month, checked out downtown when the weather was nice. It's been mainly rainy, dreary. It's finally stopped snowing the past couple weeks. And one of those sunny days I managed to go around Capitol Hill. Yeah, definitely check out Capitol Hill area, just downtown area of Denver. There's a couple places around there. You got the Wax Tracks, the used record store, and down the street from there, there's 2 doors, is Kilgore Books. Apparently they split in half. A few years ago, the publishing company went to the Washington, D.C. area, and then they still sell books out of, their bookstore, but it's under separate ownership now, the bookstore in Denver. So there's, from what I've looked up, there's 500 copies of this. I got this for $5. So when these got printed, half were for Noah Van Sciver's Patreon supporters and half were for Kickstarter backers. So Noah Van Sciver had 50 extra copies that he then gave to Kilgore Books themselves, and this is one of those 50 that I bought recently. This issue details Noah's time at the Center for Cartoon Studies in Vermont. Nice paper. Printed in Canada. All right, that's Slow Graffiti by Noah Van Sciver out of 2017. And we got this issue of Mineshaft. This is a recent Robert Crumb. I've always been wondering what he's been doing recently. He's been contributing to this. I don't know if it's quarterly or what, but it's probably is. It's labeled by seasons. I'm not sure, but this is issue number 34. I've shown a couple of these. Crumb did the back cover, I think, on one, and he does interiors. He does stories about his dream journal. He contributes stories to a few pages here. He types out some shit. But the back cover is by Robert Armstrong. $9. Here's Robert Armstrong. Sketchbook drawing by R. Crumb, April 1993. Poplaski. Sketchbook Adventures of Peter Poplaski, 1999 to 2016. So it's like a anthology. Muhammad Ali, 1942 to 2016, ink drawing by Jim Blanchard. Another sketchbook drawing by R. Crumb. It's actually a Noah Van Sciver on the left. Blood Visions, Part 1, Zach Wharton. This is from the same publisher, actually, that does the Revenger comic by Charles Forsman. This was in the little dollar basket they had by the cash register over at Kilgore Books. Part 1. I just feel like, how can I not show these books? I know I want to get this moving, but the last page. Slight little dent there. Oh no. This is brilliant. my previous videos, I've shown Cosmic Beings issue 3, and I love this. When I get some more time, I want to go through. This has one of the more modern depictions of early 21st century society. And this weird-ass magazine, Sequential here, that is just fucking awesome. It's Alex Graham's Being, issue number 2 out of spring 2016. It's a glare for you. This is by Kilgore Books. Fish is smoking a joint. Smoking something. I just wanted to show you the scene again. This one's already beat up. I regret that I beat it up, but I'm glad that I read it. Hold up. How dirty it is. This scene I've shown before, but yeah, it's right here. When he says, "Excuse me, bartender." Oh. That he interrupted him. Just the look on his face right there in the middle. He has to serve the guy a drink. All cold. That's what I'm saying. In more ways than one, I think that a lot of comic books and entertainment in general and shows, it's written for people in the 20th century. They don't show a lot of this type of behavior that has become the norm. Yeah. Cosmic Beings issue number 3. I got that a while back. First time I went over to Kilgore Books. I got that Beings issue 3 over at Mutiny Information Cafe months ago. But yeah, when I saw this one over at Kilgore Books, I figured out issue number 2. Maybe eventually I'll find issue number 1 in shops because I've never seen it online. $7. And then the rest of these gems are out of Vision Comics and Oddities, Inglewood, just south of Denver, off of Federal Boulevard. Christopher Priest writing Sacred 6 with this cover for issue number 8 that just recently came out, the Lucio Pario B cover. All right, I got these next ones up for $1. Now, unfortunately, issues 32 and 31 were all torn up. The spine was just full of ticks. If I'm going to get a JoJoSco cover, that's what issues 32 and 31 are for this Punisher War Journal. But I saw this and, kind of reminded me of that vein of like a ripoff of Rambo covers. So I figured, fuck it. It's only $1. Got this in the dollar bin over at Vision Comics and Oddities. The Todd Palmer cover, and that's out of 1991. Nice newsstand at least, right? There is a spine tick right there. I don't know. Maybe I'll just keep it as a reader copy. I doubt it. The newsstands, anything at that point, are still going to be rare, and it's going to be a sought after cover. I don't think the cover craze is just a craze, a fad. I think it's just an aspect of the hobby that's always grown, and it's here to stay, which is fine. Anything that gives comic book collecting a new aspect that broadens the market, and in any way that broadens the market like that, is great. So the Punisher War Journal issue number 33 out of the Dallahallas. That's a great little newsstand find. Also got this Silver Star. It's a Jack Kirby. This is my reader copy, I'd say, pretty much, because I already have a couple of these. This is a first print, and it's out of 1982. And it's when Jack Kirby was working over at Pacific Comics. Got that for $1. You know, a year after that Punisher War Journal book came out, we got this 1992 Night Stalkers, #1. It's in great shape. Spine doesn't have any ticks on it. Corners are sharp. Colors are bright. And it's a newsstand, so I figured, why the hell not? It's just for $1. And doing that, hey, why the hell not? What the fuck for? What the fuck? Who cares? Just get another one, another and another. Those dollar bin books, if you don't got a plan for your dollar bin books, then your plan is money for storage, or storing at a friend's place or at a relative's place, or making sure you got that security and insurance money down, because it adds up fast. A little niche mini key. It's out of the 90s. God, never thought I'd buy a 90s book, but I just did, because it was for $1. Too bad it wasn't 50 cents, right? All right, Night Stalkers. Issue #1 out of 1992. That was a Ron Garney cover. This is like a 2-issue series, as far as I know, out of 1984. So Will Mugnois, M-E-U-G, Mugnois, M-E-U-G-N-I-O-T. It's all new excitement from the Stone Age to the Space Age. This is this woman from the Stone Age that finds this spaceship, goes off into space, fights aliens on the moon, shit like that. Oh yeah, there we go. Flashback back to the cave girl, doing what cave girls do best. Getting it down in cave girl bikinis. Looks like there's an accompanying story at the end. This last one definitely looks like something a la heavy metal. June 1984. Original cover price $150. This is a very nice near mint copy of Ultimate X-Men. Really nothing too special about this. So we got this Ultimate Run. It's like a modernized Ultimate Universe of the Marvel 616. this alternate universe Bill Jamas was kind of behind mainly, but it was during Bill Jamas, President Joe Quesada, editor-in-chief, this little new Marvel run. This wasn't as popular. It did move well, though. Some of the stories were starting to be written as like a trade paperback. That was one of the downsides of this. Bendis was getting spread too thin. I just got this just because I want to get a run of the first 50 issues. And, my ultimate run. Something that, there's no rush. This is one of those books when you're on the hunt. There's no rush. You know there's going to be enough copies of Ultimate X-Men in the next 12 months in the Dalahalas in very fine, most likely near mint condition. So, I figure though, saying there's no rush, a little bit too much, can end up seeing these books turn into $3-4 books, which I don't need. If I can just finish up the gaps in my run in the early 40s there of Ultimate X-Men, I'll have the first 50 issues, and I figure that's sellable. What do y'all think? It's definitely easier to sell. I know that. But do you think somebody would buy it in a couple of years? That Ultimate Run 1 through 50 if they were, in very fine. So that's what she said. Section that's for like horror, indie, in great condition. I did get this one for $1. This is Rick Veitch under the King Hell publishing label. Check out this YouTube channel called Strange Brain Parts, please. They do a great story about Brackpack that includes a synopsis of how King Hell is run, how he's got it structured, the series of stories that are related to King Hell, like this one that I got there for $3. Roaring Rick Veitch, the writer and the artist, Rare Bit Fiends. So yeah, that's a first print of Brackpack from 1990. Rare Bit Fiends is also part of the King Hell brand. And it's got this whole commentary about comic books and $3. This is a great collectible when you see this Rick Veitch name for independent creators. He's a writer, artist, inker, and he successfully pulls off doing all the jobs and is now an OG in independent artist realm. If you get a chance, check out some Rick Veitch videos on YouTube. Some awesome back issue finds, man. Damn. This doesn't stop with Vision Comics and oddities. So he has no more Bernie Wrightson, Master of the Macabre. I've been buying issues there every once in a while, definitely when I have money. I go back into that horror, mystery, detective, dark, magic corner, dark arts corner that he's got there, horror corner. It's a pretty dope shop. It's got so many different types of toys, memorabilia, costumes. It's so cool. It's like being in this crazy museum. And the back issue selection's great on more than one level, like I keep praising. So got that $6, very fine copy of Bernie Wrightson, Master of the Macabre. It's a reprint of stories that he did in the 70s. He wrote and drew. And the first 4 issues are printed by PC Comix. There's that PC Comix label again. Right. Jack Kirby, Silver Star. There we go to Bernie Wrightson, Master of the Macabre. The 5th issue was printed by Eclipse Comics. It was the final issue. Nice $6 copy right there. George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead. This one ran for 3 issues in 2004. It was Steve Niles doing the writing. Chi, I've got here is the artist, Chee. Chi? What up, Chi? 2004, IDW Publishing. This I got for $4. For another $4, I got H.P. Lovecraft's Haunt of Horror. This is a follow-up from Corbin's Edgar Allan Poe Haunt of Horror. This is from 2008. Richard Corbin. This is a one-shot comic out of Image. This had 3 covers, and this is the best one. This is the Frank Frazetta one. August 2008 cover date. This is the Frank Frazetta beauty right here. Dracula meets Wolfman. $3.99 cover price. Steve Niles is the writer who adapted a story based on this painting by Frank Frazetta, basically. Oh yeah. When I was looking through his comics, I'm like, wait. I opened it up. Turns out it's a first printing. There's no price tag on it. I asked the owner right away. I'm like, what are you pricing this bag at? What are you pricing this comic at? This is some serious merchandise here. Let's get rid of that tape. So he sold it to me for $50, to make a long story short. I'm not sure if you can see. I believe it's this issue where he goes into the pawn shop, kills the owner of the pawn shop after he gets the wedding ring back. Shelley's wedding ring. Next, extreme violence with no fixed point of reference. So when I got it, there was already this dent in the spine, or in the corner. But besides that, There's no serious color breaks. I don't see color breaks. I see spine stress. But pages were off-white. It's fine. See a little bit of sun shadow slightly, maybe, or just, what do you call that? If it's not quite a sun shadow, but what if it's just at the top? Is that a sun shadow then? Say it's not a sun shadow. It's a little bit darker on the top edge. Not so much in some pages, actually. More cream colored. Not sure if this paper was pure white when it was printed to begin with. Newsprint. But it's a righteous shop. I always go there. This is one of the reasons why I Vision Comics and Oddities. Amazing comic book shop. It's a rare find for me. Usually that would be up on the wall or behind the counter to some extent. I think so at this point. It wasn't priced, so it's one of those things where it kind of forces the customer to show the proprietor the book. So he priced it and I made the sale. But now I got the triples of issue number 2. I didn't really need this. I already fulfilled my goal, my little bucket list, my to-do list that I keep talking about. And you know, one of the things for that to-do list isn't just to spend money, it should be to help you saving cash to be thrown out needlessly. And you know, I just think that I am a huge James O'Barr fan, but just because I'm a fan doesn't mean I should be spending. But that brand name, that style, he's like one of the OGs of Outlaw Comics. So when I saw this issue number 2, I figured, fuck it. I mean, does this compel me now that I got to get issue 3 and 4 and 1? Because now, you know, I got this third issue number 2, but I only got 2 copies of first printings of 3 and 4 and number 1. So now I'm compelled. And so I gotta keep the cycle going. Chase the dragon. Chase the dragon. Chase it. Sam Kinison. Do it. Do it. Do it. No, I'm good. I got this because, you know, there's you know, you love an artist or you love the type of work they do or a storyline, a plot, but then there's, don't get too attached. So we can get these books sold. There we go. That lined up. So we can get these books sold. And I wonder how long that was lopsided. Let's find out later. And, you know, hey, if I got a third copy, keeps the original doubles that I have together. And I can use this to I don't know, get a tank of gas one day in a couple of years, who knows. If I got this for $50, what do you think? Hit me up in the comments section. Do you think this is going to be a $200 book by 2024? 3 years? Or post-pandemic, all the fallout of all the companies being closed, people being unemployed, which is going to go into a Great Depression, which will lead us into a Third World War. And nobody will be able to buy The Crow. They'll be like, I am Walking Death. Why do I want to read about the Crow? What the fuck? Or maybe they'll find it redeeming to read about a brand about a guy coming back from the dead to seek vengeance. I don't know. You tell me. What do you think? 2024. This $50 comic, first print, Crow, issue number 2. Reprinted in the Tundra Press. The first 2 issues of this were in volume 1, the 3-volume set. But I digress. What can I follow up James O'Barr with? How about some more Frazetta goodness along those lines? to round up this haul, thank you so much for watching, digging on my finds. These are all my Sequential Geek comic shop finds. Not necessarily anything here that was really, I'd say, a stealth buy, but there's fair deals. Whether you're, this is all mainly as a collector. There's some stuff here that you could say as an investor it works because the condition is at least VF. It's niche. The brand names are solid. The images are iconic. I stick with that if I gotta choose between spending on something for fun or spending on something along the lines of the hobby. And that's what the hobby is for me. Then I always lean towards the hobby, which means make a decision. Am I going to buy this based on the collector or as an investment? You keep those type of collector books based more along the lines of as an investment. Like, for example, you could be all about Gambit, but if you're low on money and you're not sure what to invest in, then just get X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, what is it, 266, just get another copy. Just keep buying another copy. These days, I mean, that's going up in price. It used to be like a $40 book. I got 3 copies. I don't know why I stopped. Same thing with NYX number 3. But there are books like that out today that, you know, you see they're going from a $15 book to a 30, and then when you see them go at 60, you tend to start seeing that pattern. It's not necessarily based off of shows and what's been optioned. It's just based off of longevity, what makes things iconic and what works. And you can tell what has longevity. A lot of stuff did get optioned, but that's not the reason why I think it should be considered an investment or something that's a collectible buy, because there's a lot of stuff that out there that you could say is a collectible, but those Funko Plop stuff that's a nightmare waiting to happen. You know, that is a collectible bubble. It's got to burst. I can't believe that stuff's going to be around in 30 years. It's so basic. There's no imagination on that shit. Give me a break. It's like the pet rock with 2 big black eyes. Bobbling. It's like a bobblehead that's just turned into a regular figure. I don't know. Yeah, I do. It's bullshit. Funko plop that out my ass. In my toilet. Alright, so this is for $4. Around 1996, the end in 1997, you had that 4-issue limited series that was written by Glenn Danzig, and they used those Frank Frazetta covers, and that was printed by Verotik. All right, 95, 96, 97. Image Comics in 2007, pretty much 10 years later, did this new Death Dealer story. It's not a reprint, and it's 6 issues long. Each issue has 3 separate covers, but issue number 1 has got 7 different covers. The first one was the original one, the Frank Frazetta Death Dealer painting. And this is the cover B. And this is by Nat Jones and Jay Fotos. They've been known to do work over at Image with Spawn. So there are some great C covers for these. They're like these sketch covers. Most of them. Nat Jones has just got some great skill going on. It's a Frazetta-like. And this is the B cover. I got this for $4. So here on the right, we got Verotik, issue number 8. Martin Imond cover. February 1996. From 1996. And this cover is also by Martin Imond. Glenn Danzig's story. Satanica. Got that for $5. Now, so this run of Satanica, this ran for just 3 issues, 4 issues basically. You got issue 0, which is this Frank Frazetta cover right here, and then you got 3 issues. The proprietor of Vision Comics and Oddities did have 2 copies of this, which I quickly grabbed. One of them has got a slight fold in the upper corner. It's this guy. But besides that, there is no marks on these white covers. Simon Beasley did the covers for issues 1 and 2. And Martin Iman did the cover for issue number 3, the last issue of the Satanica run from Verotik. Beware the succubus. Satanica. July 1995. So one for $8. And the second one for $5. And then about a year later in February, this is February 1996 cover date. It's when that next Satanica issue came out, the first of this 11-issue run. And that's what I've been spending my money on while my money been dwindling away, looking for work. Kind of let things slide a little bit last week. Now that I know I'm starting work tomorrow, wanted to get these 2 videos down. So thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate your feedback, especially if it's constructive. If you have to say something about anything that you think could be improved or something you don't like. Doesn't necessarily mean we got to agree with each other, but I'm always open to somebody's opinion. Praise, definitely hit me up, as I always love to give people props. So there's this channel called Daz the Comic Key Chaser. He's from the other side of the pond over in Great Britain. He does a lot of lists of just mad key books that he's got. I mean, amazing amount of key books. He makes a lot of spec based off of, the up and coming keys, but I mean, this guy's showing them. He's got hella books. Also the 666 too. I would have to say Daz, the Key Comic Chaser, that YouTube channel. That guy's great, man. He's always pouring out content. Sometimes Daz, man, you pour out video after video. Some of you guys, I just have to skip them. Like my list of videos, it just gets so long that I want to relax. So some of them I just skip. I'm not too into the top 10 lists, but I am into a lot of just being able to see the physical copies and checking out the presentations over at Daz's comic book halls. They're great, man. He's just got key after key after key. They're great for keeping keys in mind. Keeping it key with Daz the Key Comic Book Chaser out of England. Hit him up. Check him out. He's got a community tab on his website that's got a bunch of other channels that he recommends. So if you want to check out some new YouTube channels, also he's got some resources there. So as a collector, yeah, I recommend Daz the Key Comic Chaser for sure. But he's got a contender. He's got somebody that's up for the running. That's 666. 666, oh my God. This guy went down the rabbit hole. He'll focus on certain topics and then show you key books that are related to another key book that's related to another key book that has a particular type of hero that came out in a magazine from the 70s. And Marvel happens to still own the property for that, and then he'll point out how it was used briefly in something from 15 years ago. So they could still be working some type of Darkhold related, Agatha Harkness related, vampire related, like Varney. I believe that was one of the vampires that he mentioned, the first vampire. He's linking some shit up that could be coming down the pipe with this Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness and with the whole WandaVision show and the fallout of that with collectors looking for key books. So he'll show you actual physical copies. 666 will actually just show the physical copies. He doesn't just say this is a book and show a bitmap or some image like a lot of other channels do. But since they don't have the books, they get away with it because they got better sound quality, production level with lights and shit. But these guys, Daz the Comic, Key Chaser, and 666, they are real deal collectors on the YouTubes. Please check them out. Those are my 2 shout outs. Thanks for watching. Be that Sequential Geek. Much love out y'all Sequential Hood. Stay safe. Peace. Thanks for watching.